Hi there, explorers. My name is Emily, and welcome back to Protecting Our Watersheds. Today we are exploring with Inaturalist. So you should have received either a Google form or a printed worksheet from your teacher to be able to do this activity. And I'm going to walk step by step through it with you. But first, go ahead and pause this video to make sure you've got your Google form up and ready that looks like what you see on my screen, or go find that printed worksheet from your teacher. I'll wait here. Pause. Okay, hopefully you started to play again. So I'm going to walk step by step through this activity with you. Our first question, do you think there will be more plants and animals at your school or at Lopez Lake? Choose your claim from the two choices below. Claim 1, I think there will be more plants and animals at my school. Or claim 2, I think there will be more plants and animals at Lopez Lake. So we're making a prediction here. So I'm not going to be putting in my school address. I'm going to be putting in my work office address at Creeklands Conservation. So between my work and Lopez Lake, I'm going to predict that claim 2 is going to be correct. I think there will be more plants and animals at Lopez Lake. You might put a different answer though. Okay, question 2. Go to inaturalist.org/observations. Ask your teacher for your school's address. Find the location search box and type your school address into this box at the top of the web page. Check this box when complete. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click on the link. Perfect, and it's going to take you right to Inaturalist. And you can see there's a huge map with a lot of red dots. All those red dots on there are observations that are made in the world. Oh my goodness, there have been 57 million observations. That is amazing. This green box right here tells you how many different observations of plants and animals there have been out in nature. And then over on the right, where it says observers over here, there have been over 1.4 million observers. So that's how many different people are out there just taking photos of plants and animals and helping to identify where these plants and animals are around the world at any given time. And you could be one of those people if you want to participate. But today we're just learning how to read what we find on Inaturalist and compare it to how many plants and animals are in our local areas, either at Lopez Lake or at your school. Okay, let's go back. So question 2, ask your teacher for your school's address. So you should have your school's address, but I'm going to go ahead right here in this box where it says location. I'm going to put my work address, and it pops up here. Perfect. And then we should just see this box around what would be your school, or it's around my work. So we can go ahead and check that box. Question 3. You will see a map of your school with a box around it, similar to the photo below. It will also tell you how many different observations and how many different species there are at your school. Okay, check this box when you see the map of your school. We saw it when we were looking right here. Perfect. Check box. Question 4A. How many different observations are there at your school? And then question 4B is how many different species are there at your school? So you should be able to find these answers right at the top here. So you can pause this video to go and enter those here now. Okay, hopefully you paused the video and you've come back. And so for observations, for me, I'm going to put in 49. And then for how many different species are there at your school, or for me at my office, I'm going to put the species here is 38. Okay, question 5. Now type in the web address below or scan the QR code to go to Lopez Lake in Inaturalist. So I can just click this link here. Perfect. And now it's loading me directly to Lopez Lake. So, Okay, so now that we can see our box around Lopez Lake, you can see there's a lot more observations and a lot more species. So we can click this checkbox now for question 5. Now question 6A, how many different observations are there at Lopez Lake? Question 6B, how many different species are there at Lopez Lake? So you can pause the video here to put in those answers for you. Again, remember, we're looking at these 2 boxes up here. So go ahead and pause and put those in. Okay, hopefully you paused the video, and so I'm going to go ahead and put in my answers. You should have the same ones for Lopez Lake as I do. So for the observations, we had 207 observations, and we saw 131 different species. So that makes sense, right? Some people might have made the same observations. There wouldn't be as many species if some people are observing the same species. Now 7A, there are more plants and animals at Lopez Lake or at your school. Or I'm sorry, are there more plants and animals at Lopez Lake or at your school? Well, if we're looking at the different species, we're not looking at the observations here. We want to look at the difference in the number of species. At Lopez Lake, there were 131. And then at my office, there was only 38. So there was more at Lopez Lake than at my office or your school. 7B, was your initial claim correct? See question 1 and compare it to your answer in question 7A. So back up to question 1. I predicted that there would be more plants and animals at Lopez Lake. Compared to 7A, it was Lopez Lake. So I predicted correctly. Question 8. Below are photos of 2 different parts of the same California creek. Picture A was taken in the middle of town, and picture B was taken outside of town. Which picture shows a place you would want to live if you were an animal? Pause the video here and make your answer. Okay, if you've started playing again, you might have put something different, but looking at these 2 photos, picture A, there's not a lot of water. There's a lot more water and some greenery in picture B. So if I was an animal, I think I would want to live in picture B. So why did I choose that answer? There's a lot more water, more greenery, or I can just say more plants. And it looks more inviting. Question 9A. Based on the number of plants and animals you found, where do you think plants and animals can find more food and shelter? Well, if plants and animals want to be where there's food and shelter, I'm going to guess that there's also going to be more food and shelter at Lopez Lake. Why did you think this? If there's more plants and animals like to be where there is food and shelter. So I think there would be more food and shelter in place with more plants and animals observed. Question 10. Click the species box at the top of the page and take a look at some of the plants and animals that live at Lopez Lake. Okay, so we're going to go back, click on species. So now we can see all these different species that have been identified at Lopez Lake. So many different ones. How cool is that? There's an eared grebe, a great blue heron, Pacific poison oak. Want to be very careful with that one. Okay, we've done question 10, so we can check this box. 11A. Choose one plant or animal that you think is interesting and click on the photo. Then click on the About tab to learn more information about your plant or animal. What is the name of your plant or animal? To choose only one? Okay, I'm going to choose one, but I think that you should choose a different one so that we can learn a lot more about a lot of different species. Ooh, this one looks really cool. It says turkey tail. So I'm going to click on turkey tail. Okay, so my plant, or 11A, what is the name of your plant or animal? It is turkey tail. What a funny name. 11B, complete the following sentence in your own words. Something I noticed about my plant or animal is, well, I notice that, I really like the colors in it. So I notice it has a lot of blues and grays and whites. So I notice it is very colorful. There are lots of blues and grays and whites. Complete the following sentence in your own words. Something I wonder about my plant or animal is, what do I wonder about the turkey tail? I wonder if turkey tail, does it grow on the ground? Something I wonder about my plant or animal is, where does it grow? Does it grow on the ground or in a tree? I wonder where I would find the turkey tail if I was wandering. And 11D, complete the following sentence in your own words. My plant or animal reminds me of, what does it remind me of? It kind of reminds me of, if you look at the photo, kind of looks like what water looks like when water drops onto it, when you have little drips that go down and it ripples out from the center. So it kind of reminds me of ripples on water as a drop of water falls on still water. And it also reminds me of some really cool drop paintings where if you drop paint and then you drop some more paint onto that drop and it spreads out and creates this really cool piece of art. If you haven't tried that before, you really should. It's really fun. So I'm going to say it also reminds me of a painting. And lastly, I'm going to say it reminds me of turkey tails, which I think is how it got its name. So I'm going to say it also reminds me of turkey tails. So after I clicked the species that I wanted to look a little bit more closer at, this page can tell me so much about this particular plant or animal, depending on what you chose. But it shows you how many different observations there have been made and the top observers and people who have made identifications of this particular plant or animal. You can see when the seasons are for this type of plant or animal to be seen the most. It's really cool. And then down below you can even see what are the places in the world you might find this plant or animal. And then here I can even look at more photos. So let's look at more. Wow. This turkey tail is so cool. It actually comes in a lot of different colors too. So here you can see there's oranges and browns. There's some green and purples. Ooh, look at that really dark orange reddish color. This is really cool. So there have been a lot of observations of turkey tails. Very neat. Let's go back. I want to see what else I can learn. So if we scroll down to where the map is, there's also an About tab. So we can learn more. The scientific name for a turkey tail is Trametes versicolor. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It is a common polypore mushroom found throughout the world, meaning of several colors. So the scientific name translates to of several colors, which makes sense since looking at the photos, there were so many different colors that you could see this particular mushroom in. Versicolor reliably describes this fungus that displays different colors. For example, because its shape and multiple colors are similar to those of a wild turkey, it is commonly called turkey tail. That makes so much sense. So you could go ahead and explore and learn more about your plant or animal. You can learn its taxonomy, which tells you how it's related to other plants or animals. And just have fun exploring. Okay, and that is it. So now I can hit submit, and you have learned how to explore with Inaturalist. You could take this a step further and maybe go look and see what you can find around your home. Maybe you put in your home address and see what sort of plants and animals have been observed right around where you live, and maybe see if you've spotted any of those before. Have fun. Bye.